So what is going on, guys? We are back with another video, and I don't know if there's been anything like this on YouTube yet. Wouldn't surprise me, it really wouldn't, but I just wanted to make this just because I don't have anything to upload for the day, and I usually don't, but I decided, hey, why not? You know, maybe someone hasn't. But Marshawn Lynch, we all know, he's kind of back. This roster has him as a 90 overall, which I think is somewhat fair. I know he's on the older side now, but he had some time to rest. He's still beast, hopefully. I mean, as an outsider that has no horse in this race, I would still like to see it. Marshawn Lynch is a really good player, and I like him a ton. It is a given now that the Raiders will be receiving Marshawn Lynch for, I think they just exchanged draft picks, which is weird. I have no idea how that works. It might just be another Browns type thing, but of course the Seahawks aren't, you know, really gaining anything from this. But of course, I mean, let's just take a look, see what's going to happen. So we are in the playoffs as the Raiders. That is a 9-7 team, which isn't too bad, just considering this this division is tough. I want to see where we were. Passing was horrendous. So Derek Carr is an 89 overall with a pretty decent receiving core. Didn't perform well at all, to be honest. Marshawn Lynch, decent receiving game or season, and rushing, I don't expect him to have this kind of impact, but could you imagine 326 yards, 1,400 yards, 326 attempts, 15 touchdowns, 3 fumbles. So, I mean, I don't know how he made the playoffs with a 9-7 team here. Khalil Mack, just for the good effort, 25 and a half sacks. My words are really on it today. So, of course, with those kind of numbers, you know Marshawn's going to be holding some awards here. Raiders, you got a Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Of course, Marshawn Lynch, not even a question. Of the year, was he, though? He was not. Le'Veon Bell always takes that. That's just you know, just to see. Of course, he was. Not even a question there. I don't know, actually, to be fair, how much XP he would get, because he is old. Even though he won awards, probably wouldn't get too much for that. I don't want to go into the game, but we're going to simulate, see who makes it further, because we know the Seahawks are given to make the playoffs, but with Marshawn, would they be better? So let's take a look at this game. We did get a win here. Take a quick look at the crowd. Thank them all for coming out. 34-23 against the Bills. We know the Bills didn't do too well, so that's not a crazy storyline to follow. Derek Carr just hasn't been great. Marshawn Lynch, 2 rushing touchdowns. Not great rushing-wise. Receiving, just a 10-yarder. So nothing too spectacular there. 2 touchdowns is pretty nice. 80 yards. Definitely a huge help to the team. Big time. So I've never seen the Raiders make it to the Super Bowl in Sim, if I'm not mistaken. And they have a good shot at it here as we beat the Bengals now with the Raiders Lynch. It's funny, look at the bottom of the screen. Pretty cool there. So Oakland 52-10. Is Marshawn Lynch the only thing that the Raiders are missing? Good game by Derek Carr. Marshawn Lynch, no touchdowns, but a 5 yards per carry average. That is really amazing. That's pretty spectacular. We all know the Patriots, especially with Tom Brady, have a really good track record in these rebuilds and these franchise modes. Is he going to be able to beat us here? And of course he does. 49-14. There is nobody that can beat the Patriots. I think that alone throws off the whole damn concept here, because you're just not going to beat the Patriots, especially year one. So it almost was a rematch of the Super Bowls, which would have been pretty cool. Derek Carr got destroyed. Tom Brady roasted us. Marshawn Lynch still played well. He did fumble, however. Pretty good, though. I mean, won, 2 playoff games, which is pretty good. I usually don't see the Raiders make it that far. So we are back in this, and with Marshawn Lynch on the squad and Eddie Lacy, Thomas Rawls is looking on the outs. And it is kind of funny, though, because in real life, if Marshawn was going to come back, there's probably a good chance Lacy wouldn't have been signed, because what's the point? I don't even know what they would do if Marshawn Lynch decided just now, hey, I want to come back. What would they do? Eddie Lacy, they just signed him, and they don't need, they wouldn't want to keep Lacy over Rawls, since Lacy's on the older side compared to him. I would assume, at least. I honestly don't know. The big thing you can see in the difference is the lineman. That's just, Absolutely insane, the difference. But the difference also is the defense. Honestly, with that O-line and, you know, pieces missing on defense and all that, like, it's a rough team. It's not bad. It's definitely playoff bound, but it's not as good as I held them in my head to be. But, of course, I want to show you guys that we do have the exact same Marshawn, same exact stats, hopefully, at least. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't be, but same exact stats. And, of course, we had the injury off for both, just because you never know how inconsistent injuries are. Wouldn't want Marshawn to go out for one of the teams and be like, oh, well, there goes your thing. So we should be looking at a playoff-bound team, and they are. Bobby Wagner wins NFC's best defensive player. So 12-4, which is 3 wins better. Obviously, 3 losses better as well. Almost messed that one up. Russell Wilson, believe it or not, better performance than Derek Carr. This is an interesting one, though, because you can see it was more of a split backfield. Eddie Lacy and Lynch did really well. Really good rushing attack. No fumbles, which is pretty huge. I should have looked at the downs played. But at the same time, 303 attempts, which is only, what, 23 less than Raiders Lynch. So 23 less attempts for 50 less yards, but 5 less touchdowns, but also 3 less fumbles. So what is his receiving game like? Lynch, there he goes. So really similar receiving as well. So with this kind of offensive line, that's not bad at all, really. 6 offensively, and defense I think was number 1. So let's see. I should have looked at where Lynch ranked. He probably wasn't even close to MVP on either. But with the NFC, it's just as hard to win awards. I would not. Offensive Rookie of the Year, though, is Dak, Elliott, then Lynch, which isn't surprising to me. So fair enough. He didn't win Rookie of the Year, but that's less to do with him as a Seahawk and more to do with that the Cowboys always win like every award like early on. Marshawn kind of completes their package again. Is that going to bring them a Super Bowl? Like, where are we at? Right now, I'm leaning, especially with that loss, I'm leaning towards Raiders Lynch all the way. And let's be honest, them Raider uniforms looking nice. So I can't be mad at all with the fact that the Raiders are probably the better fit for Lynch. Postseason loss 42-24. Very fitting that we would lose to the Cowboys, who stole the awards from us. Rushing, Marshawn Lynch was pretty solid there in the playoffs. Split backfield, though, you know, with the fact that they got Lacy, the fact that they have Rawls, I think this works out for both parties. Let's be honest. The Seahawks, they probably, at least in my opinion, they probably weren't thinking about Lynch very much. And I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but they're going to switch with the Raiders, which I don't know, honestly, who is primed to technically do better, which hurts the draft ranking. So really, I guess the Seahawks kind of won because, I mean, like I said, I don't think they were going to get anything out of Lynch anyways, and they might have grounds for getting their bonus back. I'm not exactly sure what the whole scenario is there. Let me know in the comment section, who do you think would be better? At the end of the day, we don't even know if Lynch is going to make the roster. Like, as much as we know he's a beast, and this, and the Raiders are excited, he's excited, it doesn't really mean much, you know? I mean, he could have completely lost his step for all we know, and the Raiders are just like, nah, we're not having it. We're just not having it. Also kind of mix up the draft a little bit because there's probably a good chance the Raiders would have taken a running back, at least in the second round, maybe the first round. I don't know now, but, you know, let me know what you guys think of the video, and, I mean, we have our verdict. I think Raiders Lynch was better. With this team and the fact that the Seahawks almost always go to the Super Bowl in these franchises, I can't say that Lynch helped them. Honestly, he might have made them worse because they were probably more dependent on running the ball, and it just didn't work out because he doesn't have that big playmaking ability, you know, especially at his age right now with those stats. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tomorrow should be a bunch of crap. I don't even know when this video came up, to be honest. I would assume Thursday, but might have went Friday. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!